Well, hey folks, how you doing? Yes, this is my first video back, and I just want to say, yes, there's going to be issues, technicalities, things going wrong. We'll smooth them out in a few videos, no big deal. Just the first one might be rocky. Heads up? Alright, hope you enjoy. Hello, welcome back, folks. Welcome back to me, I suppose, as well. Anyways! Got one of my fun decks. We're going to do a series of fun decks here of some of my favorites that I've made over the course of time while I've been away from you guys. Well, today we've got Mardu cycling. Now, Mardu, simply because I feel like I can cast every card in this list if I wanted to. Now let's go down the line real quick about just general everything. So, we got your big beaters right here. So Flourishing Fox, cycles gets bigger. Vile Manifestation, cycled cards in the graveyard make it bigger. Awesome. Hollow One can just come out for free, and if you happen to have multiples, can just be that crazy, just here's a board state of nowhere sort of thing. So yeah, between these three beaters. Then, just small manipulation, but the ideal thing is one cost cycling. So, Drannith Stinger, slowly work your opponent down. So, they're high in life, but they're high in removal. So, you drop this guy and just run a few cycles to get some life total down. Opponent's a little bit more aggro. Flip side, they're coming at you. Gain a few life points and try and extend the game a little bit longer until you can turn it around. Interaction points. Next point. Go for blood. Quick one cycling, but it's also a fight spell. Memory Leak to deal with the control decks and take that thing that's going to cause you some grief. Graveyard Hate. Big bomb that you just don't want to deal with. That kind of thing. Cast Out. Kind of same thing. Just deal with the big annoying thing that you want to get out of the way. Otherwise, 1 point cycler. Zenith Flare is our common finisher, and in fact it's probably the finisher for about most of our games, as this will come up. With this all, we have Jegantha the Wellspring. It seems to fit well with this. You could probably, well, you might say where's Lurrus because that's a common well. Well, Hollow One I feel is a little bit better than Lurrus, so, and Cast Out. So we're going to go with those rather than that, and we can have a Jegantha instead. We still get something, so it is what it is. Lands that cycle. You may ask about the triomes. I found that they cost us points more than they actually helped us out. They're just too many times they were awkward. So, you know, 3 cycle, it's in the way, we don't need it, that kind of thing. 1 cycle. 1 cycle just as well. It's tapped. If it's the color we need, fine. No problem. And then, you know, just a pile of lands that provide colors. That's the deck. I'm a best one type of player, but I will always offer a sideboard suggestion of some of the things that I feel the deck would benefit from. Some duress. Keep your opponent off those bombs. Like I said, the most important thing is the bombs, or the things that are going to take Zenith Flare away from you. Silent Gravestone, for things like scoos, whatnot, and just kind of keeping our graveyard safe from targeted effects. Figure that's the best choice, since it still represents the graveyard, but, you know, gets rid of some things. Forsake the Worldly for their own particular cards that might be annoying or whatever. It still cycles, it's fine, whatever might come up. Solemnity combo or some nonsense like that. You'll knock this out, right? Sweltering Suns for the aggros, and Abandoned Sarcophagus for some of the longer games where we can just start playing some of the stuff into their removal at that point. So, that's the series, the explanation of the deck, that is. Let's get into some game. Alright, we're on the play. We have 3 cast outs, a Memory Leak, and a Zenith Flare. It can be in whole new hand in about 5 seconds. Let's see what it is. So our first choice is dealing with red or white. We have a Memory Leak that is about the only castable anytime soon. We do need white mana more than anything. Red seems kind of like a luxury right now. Just kind of, we'll get it when we get it. Our opponent is red. Cycle off. We have a Go for Blood. We have a Memory Leak. From this point, them being red means that I probably don't want Memory Leak, so I'm actually going to aim, well, I suppose, if given the choice, I might as well take black here. So we'll chill. just cycle some of these off. Opponent with the turn 1 nothing is great. Chandra's piling, so some sort of it's probably something that we definitely want to memory. I know what card I'm talking about, I just don't know what card I'm talking about. One moment, please. Stand by. Woo! That's a lot of burn. Okay, Legion War Boss is probably the most out of control card from that list. I'm going to take it out here. Now, let's take a look at their hand. I am looking at... Yeah, sure. Acolyte Flame. Flourishing Fox is... safe. We want Flourishing Fox down. That is if we can get some proper cycling cards, keep in mind. Sacred Foundry. Oh, you hurt me. Alright. So we get a Flourishing Fox. Yes. This will be our somewhat interaction point here. The cast out is going to be just somewhat problematic. We're going to cycle this right now. You're a problem. Of course you're a problem. Really taxed on the white mana. Really taxed. Just how the draws line up here. Now, like I said, so far we're safe. Based on our knowledge here, we're safe. Are they going to risk factor me? Okay, I have to think about this one. If I let them draw 3 cards, it stymies their attack completely. Which means that I dodge like 7 damage or something like that. If you decline, opponent draws 3 cards. We're going to decline here. We have Zenith Flares, we buy time. We're all about buying some time right now. So now if they want to light up the stage, they have to send in a pretty gross attack. Lucky that they're not taking advantage of Flourishing Fox and unable to cycle right now. That's a Drannith Healer. And I think we might need it. That said, if they just play Chandra's or Chandra proper here, so like Mountain Chandra, they can take it out. That's fine, we still Zenith Flare as a response to it. But we are going to be taking out this piling at the very least. Unless they just let it go, in which case, cool. So we gain some of our life back. Man, these bandages, though. Okay. So we've got to work up to this Zenith Flare. 14 damage is quite a hefty ask. So they may vomit out a bunch of stuff. Looks like vomiting out a bunch of stuff is their plan today. Another piling, sure. Another thing, I guess. And another thing, sure. So they got a bunch of stuff, but they're not doing anything with it. Are we... Game's easy. Alright, we're in with good mana, a Flourishing Fox on the draw, so we have to kind of judge whether or not that's going to be safe. Okay. We've got cards. We can do things. Blue. Very Miscreant. Okay, yeah. Oh, Holo one. Nice. Alright, yeah, we'll start Flourishing Fox. That's just going to beat them down. Unless they play interaction point from this point forward. Oh, it's just rogues. Alright, yeah, rogues. Zenith Flare becomes amazing at this point, of course. Okay. I see that's the way you want to play it. We're just gonna play Drannith Stinger next. We're gonna more or less make them have everything at all times. That's not good. That's not good at all. Especially if they have another kill spell, and I just can't get on the board, period. Oh, we're getting on the board? Yes? No? Yes? Alright, well, you know what? I can't abide it. I have to get rid of it right now. This just is all this all piles in. So, like, our count is 3 for Zenith Flare now. So, that's just adding 2 cards while we get rid of their problem. And then they play a bunch more dinky 1/1s. So, I think we might be getting at... Well, no, we can Biomanifestation, and we can Flourishing Fox. We don't have to work on the Holo one quite yet. Still beats the crap out of what they got going on here. Sure. Mill me. Go ahead, mill me. That's not the card you're supposed to mill for me. It's not how it works, opponent. Alright. So. Cycle the fight card. Honestly? Just play a Holo one. From this point, what are they going to do? Counter it with their last card? Okay, I like our position. Like, this is real good. Yes, mill another one. Make the manifestation even larger. Okay, we got white, black, black, black. And we swing in. Okay. So that's their Lord gone. I'll hold up this mana, although I am heavily considering getting Jegantha, but probably not necessary. Probably just chill on Cast Out and Zenith Flare. They're way too good to just ignore. As our opponent's just making things even easier for us as we go. That said, we are at 3. That's the Zenith Flare in the yard. And now they're done. Basically. They have 1 shot left in Windrobber. Okay, well, I mean, we drew pretty poor, but we got there. And you know what? Just in case, any spell pierce, here you go. Easy peasy. They didn't draw the best of the best, but I've noticed that the historic rogues are kind of less interaction. Alright, we're on the play. We have a very, very Holo one hand. This is interesting to me. We might be able to pull something crazy off here, so we'll see. This is an opportunity to go nuts with it. We'll see. So things have to draw out right. So basically, we have to have our turn 3 mana, and we have to have 3 1-mana sources at said time. So 1-mana cycle sources. So that's what we're aiming for. Can we get there? Let's see. Cycle away. I'm more than happy dropping Biomanifestation. That's... yeah, let's file Manifestation. Let's just get the Blood Crypt out now. It's going to happen one way or another, but I mean, this gives us a body early. Our opponent is playing Izzet, and Izzet is not too happy with file Manifestation right now, I'm sure. It's large enough. Worst comes to worst, if we don't have what we need, we can certainly, like, just Jegantha. That is 2 sources. I think I need to go for this. That is 3 sources. We got this. Inspiring Vantage. Nice. And 2 Zenith Flares afterwards. Deal with the pressure, opponent. Deal with it. Deal with the My Hollow ones. And we just got Zenith Flare up back up. So if they ever, like, Storm's Wrath or some nonsense like that, we just kill them with Zenith Flare. Because Zenith Flare immediately bumps up to 7. But that's still a turn away. They have to board wipe. We have the advantage now. There you go. There's your nut draw for the day, folks. We got a nut draw. Yes, it can get better, but not much better. Like, yeah, that's a pretty good draw. All right. Hope you enjoyed that one. Let's get into the post game. Okay, so let's start with one of the basic ones. How is it competitively? Well, personally, I just try to pretend that Muxus and Bureau don't generally exist. A lot of people say there are problems and that they should probably be either ironed out or some cards should be unbanned. That's kind of the nature of how this format is at this time, is that there needs to be some official curation, sure. So I pretend to say that those decks don't exist. After that, deck's fine. Like, it deals with some stuff. In a best of 1, it's great. Is there Goblins problem draw? Let's just say that they don't immediately just drop a turn 3 Muxus revealing 6 of 6 off the top or something like that. You can do a hollow 1 draw to counter that. You've got crazy draws right back. It's totally possible that you can win and swing at them and put them on the back foot where they're chump blocking and so they don't have the bodies to work with. That does happen. Failing that, you've got things like Sweltering Suns where you can work with it, right? So there's sideboard in the best of 3. In the best of 1, you probably don't have it, and just kind of watch out for it. The Euro pile, not this deck. This deck can just Zenith Flare that pile, so it's no big deal. Like, they go and they thought seize you, and it's like, have whatever you want. You just added +1 to my Zenith Flare, right? So, I mean, there's options. It's just, do they gain too much life where you can't overcome it? Because you can turn around, you can memory leak them at some point in time. There's options. So those are the 2, like, boogeymen of the format for this deck, as far as I would assume. Blue-white control, if they just never tap out, the idea is that you have some creatures, you can force them to tap out a little, and maybe you can get that Zenith Flare in. You gotta make them tap out. So do your best to make them tap out. And there you go. So, competitively, it's definitely got the options. It does have the options. It's probably not the best, but in a post-Muxus world, if it ever happens, you're probably looking a lot better off, where Goblins seem more like a realistic deck. That said, I'd say the deck's totally fun. You want to actually get some decent wins. You can definitely get some decent wins, and it'll carry you. It'll totally carry you. So with that, hope you enjoyed. Technical difficulties today? Sure, we had them. It'll happen. Feel free to leave comments about some that you saw. I definitely noticed them too, but maybe you saw something I didn't. Take care. Hope you enjoyed. Look forward to the next one. I've got some more crazy stuff for you.